Hello. So we're going to be starting day 37 of blueprints. I'm getting my notebook all ready for it. Okay. So uh, what you see here on the screen, I had to start a second Google Sheet, so I've included links to both Google Sheets for notes, basically because it turns out there's a I guess a 100 meg or something, there's a file size limit to the number of pictures you can put in a single Google Sheets document. So whereas I'd like to have all of my screenshots in my principal notes document here, it just wasn't letting me paste screenshots after a certain point yesterday. So I had to start a second one. But all this one has right now is screenshots from inside of the sanctum behind the first door, the Orinda door. So we got a sanctum key from room 46 on day 36. Use that to go down to the underground to the sanctum and unlock the first of the 8 doors, the leftmost door of the 8 doors. And that was the door that associated with the Orinda Signia. And then in there, if you watch the video, you'll see that I had to, manipulate a machine to produce the runic sigil or the rune sigil for the Orinda realm. And after knowing what part of those components were going to be, and then guessing and trial and erroring some of the others, we finally got there in the end and unlocked access to alcoves. And then here's photos of what were in the alcove. So we got a postcard, and this will help us. Now we know how we're going to go about solving the map puzzle in room 46. We will basically probably need 8 postcards. There is exactly 8 doors in the sanctum, so naive guess is there's going to be a single postcard behind each door, and that's the 8 realms, and then the dates on those postcards will tell us in what order that trip was made. So I'll need to get access to all 8 of those doors. The Orinda door remains unlocked, so I don't have to unlock that again, but we'll have to find other sanctum keys in other places in other ways. But this is the stamp that was here with these figures that we call from the world map over in the classroom, if you remember. So those figures basically appear right here, right? I believe these figures are there are figures. It's either here, or somewhere, but basically these 3 figures appear on that map. Okay, like they're holding bowls. They appear somewhere, regardless. And then this is like this is Orinda, the royalty angel. And then in the other alcove, there was this little puzzle box, which when we opened, like gave us gems. I think it was nice, but it wasn't any like new clue information. It was just some reward. I'm pretty sure it was just some gems that we didn't get to keep because the day resets, right? So and then there was this picture above here in the one alcove, right? Yeah, inner sanctum. Okay. So other things we accomplished yesterday was we did open up our day 35, I should say, is we did crack the safe for the drawing room We got a letter, we got a gem out of that. I did that either day 35 or day 34. I think I did it day 35. Regardless, we also solved the gallery puzzle. That gave us a key to room 8, which I mistakenly believed to be an inner sanctum key. And then it wasn't, and I didn't get the opportunity to go back upstairs and actually use the room 8 key. So we'll have to find the gallery again, solve the puzzle again, get the room 8 key again, to then actually go to that room, which is going to be another puzzle room. We already know that from our room directory that room 8 is another puzzle room. Solve whatever puzzle's there in that room, and then that should probably lead us to a sanctum key. Okay. So that's a thing we can work on today if we encounter the gallery, which is a rare room, so we're not guaranteed to encounter the gallery today. But if we do, we know where we need to go with that. We need to go back to the office and the study and work on those safe codes. We need to locate a few more safes also. Identify the rest of the rooms with chess pieces. I've got a couple more pawns to find, another knight and a queen to find in the white, and then like a bunch more in the black, I guess, to find for the puzzle that's down in the precipice, the chessboard puzzle in the precipice. Let's see. But yeah, we accomplished quite a bit. So now let's get going on day 37. Hope you're all doing well, by the way. So I would day 36 was a good day. It really was. It was a long day. Like if you watch the video, it's like over 3 hours, and part of that was you know, trying to screenshot a bunch of stuff, and my screenshot hotkey. Sometimes it pops up immediately. Sometimes it takes 30, you know, attempts to use the hotkey. Sometimes I just have to like kind of hold all 3 key presses of the hotkey down for like 30 to 40 seconds before the snippet, you know, tool actually pops up. And so it's really slowing me down when my hotkey is not when that snippet hotkey is not behaving. And I don't know what to do about it. Like, I don't know how to make that any better for us. But I do apologize when you're just sitting around like bored to tears because nothing's happening on the screen. If nothing's happening on the screen and I'm not talking or whatever, it's probably because I'm like trying over and over and over again to get the screenshot to frickin', you know. It's not just a screenshot, it's a snippet. It's a, you know, I'm taking a snippet out of part of the screen, not just the whole screen. So it's not just the print screen button, it's the Windows Shift S, which is supposed to activate the Windows snippet tool, but it just doesn't always do it consistently. It's not consistent at all how that behaves. All right, we have 70 steps. We are starting with a key because of we had the clock tower on day 36, but apparently we only had one. That was our only maybe clock room, and that lets us start the next day with keys equal to the number of rooms with clock symbols, you know, like end of day benefit symbols. And that was the only one. So we start with the key, 2 gems because gemstone cavern. Our allowance is like up to 15 or 17 at this point. 17, yeah. We actually increased our allowance by 4 on day 36 because we got a quest. I'm going for the out room to, you know, figure out what that's going to be for today. I found a quest bedroom, and I knew I was going for the antechamber, so I went in and did that. So that gave me a quest for allowance. And then one of our benefits for, I think, getting into the, oh, that's what it was. In that puzzle box in the inner sanctum, there was an allowance token and I think a gem or two. So, but definitely like an allowance token. Okay, so for today, we could do we could go for classrooms today. We could go for money today. The sad thing about day 36, I ended the day with like 80 or 90 something coins, but I never ended up with like a showroom where I could really just spend a bunch of money, or even a gift shop where I could just spend a bunch of money on, really cool things. It's like there are days when I get a showroom and I don't get any money. There are days when I get a buttload of money and no, good way to spend it. And then it just all evaporates, and that's sad. Tomb would let me accumulate money today, but there was no guarantee that I'm going to get a showroom. Root cellar, dig spots. I don't know how important dig spots are, especially if I don't have a shovel. But even if I did, if it's just going to be a tin can, an old boot, some pebbles, and every once in a while a coin or a key, then it's not super exciting. But there might be other times later in the game when it's like we know we have to find and dig up something, right? In which case the root cellar would be more critical at that point. I'm kind of tempted to do the schoolhouse. We would really have to just devote our entire day to classrooms, though. And they each cost a gem to draft. So we would, yeah, one gem per. Some other rooms cost a couple gems, but classrooms cost one gem per. The tomb. Here's the thing about the tomb. I'm going to do the tomb, and the reason being is that we have a note. Part of one of our notes is that is that there is in room 46 we're looking for sanctum keys potentially, and I don't need to unlock room 46 in order to get a sanctum key. There are sanctum keys that I can get and use in the underground, all without ever going to the antechamber and going to room 46. So I'm looking at my other monitor. You can't see right now, but we found the first key, which is found here in the furthest rank, which is room 46. We used that one. The second one locked tight in the vault of a bank. Well, we had the vault on day 36, but we never did get a safety deposit key. So I'm assuming we need the vault and safety deposit key in order to get that sanctum key. So that's just luck. We'll luck into that one at some point. The third is high up among all the clocks. Well, I did the clock tower and I searched the clock tower, but I could not find sanctum key. But there's a sanctum key probably somewhere like behind. I have to maybe solve some puzzle to unlock something in the clock tower that will give me access to the sanctum key that's in the clock tower. In the fourth down below, beneath all the docks, well, that means I have to drain all of the reservoir. Well, what we did on day 36 is we drained most of the reservoir, but there's still 2 units of water that we can't drain, so we can't get down there yet. So that's not one that I can necessarily do today unless I can figure out how to, jury-rig the tank, the bigger tank in the pump room. But it says the 5th key is held by a king on his throne. Okay. That might be down in the tomb. Okay, that's what I'm going to go take a look. See if I can get a sanctum key down in the tomb by a king on his throne. The 6th in a station left by one of your own. I am, that might be like a metro station or something. So that might not be accessible until we can get access to the metro line or whatever. The 7th is major if you draft it quite late. That probably refers to either the statue in the foyer, like the bust of the major in the foyer, or the music room. So those are approachable. The 7th in the last key is waiting behind the last door of 8. That's the one that I think there's a sanctum key in room 8, the last door of 8, the door to room 8, which is the key that we get out of the gallery. So that's, we can work on that one as well. But I'm going into the tomb today on the, after the 5th key, which is held by a king on his throne. That's my idea, at least. So I'm going to check that out. Now, if it's not down here, you know, I may have been better doing the schoolhouse. Who knows? But we're going to check this out. So we've been down here before, and there is stuff down here. So I am... we've got some money that accumulates here because of dead ends. And then we unlocked this passage, which will go down to the rest of the underground. And I'll go there in a moment, actually. I'm just checking out the rest of this. So there's like this crypt. It's not necessarily a king on his throne, but it is a crypt. Just checking that out. And you see, then there's this one here, right? And we've read this, we've screenshotted this, including, I don't think I had the magnifying glass at the time for the stamp, but it's an Orinda stamp. And then this is where we came in. So we're back to where we started. Okay, so what I basically want to do is, I'm pretty sure I've explored all of this area. Like, I think I'm just methodically did that, and you know, without missing any nooks or crannies. But when I come down here, there's another revealed area, right? And this has more crypts, you know, for our family and everything. And then there's this, right? And when we do this, it comes in, that essentially points, that opens that door there. But it also, in the process, points to a location in the reservoir, right? It's like, hey, look here-ish kind of thing. Like, look right there. Hoping there might be a some sort of, you know, crypt of the old king, because I think we are related to the old royal line of Orinda before, you know, King Desolate III. I think I think we're somehow related to that royal line, or at least, you know, a branch of the family is. Because one of the busts in the foyer is of a queen, right? So I think it's like the daughter of King Decius III or something that we are related to. So I was hoping that there would be something I could do down here that would be significant, but maybe not. I mean, and we got the big old arrow that says, hey, go there. Maybe if we came down here with a shovel, maybe there's something we could dig up at somewhere. And this is where we could push this out of our way. Oh, this is the... I shouldn't have even had to guess on the Rinda. This is the insignia of our Rinda. Duh. I was guessing about certain things, and it's like it's right here. I just forgot that I had this and had screenshotted this. I could have just done it first try without guessing, because I know this has to be black. And then this is the rest of it. These are the modes, Metropolitan, and then it's... I knew it was Rare Ray, and then it's the dashes for fog. So yeah, I was like trial and error and guessing things for Rinda Sigil when I had it right here in my notes. I just forgot. But this is going to take us to this lake area where we've drained. This is the other side now. So we drained. Now from this side, there's nothing more I can do with the water drained, right? No. Okay. That's what I was checking. And then this is like the water to the, this is the way to the well, but it's all, we flooded the well, so we can't, you know, go this way, right? But I'm wasting steps. I mean, it's fine. I had hoped for a revelation down here or a sanctum key, and I'm not seeing it. So. But you got to try these things. Now, we know these are like movable, but if we do it in a certain order, that's what opened the tunnel. I don't know any other order to try to do them in, to see if there's some other combination that would give us stuff. But you could also come back down here, see how this isn't lit, and that's not lit, and that's not lit. We could come back down here maybe with a you know, lighter and light those candles and see if that does anything. But having spent 10 steps, we did not accomplish anything really. But we're going to go ahead and get started on our day. Don't want a dead end immediately. Reading it gives us a key. It would let us draft the library. I don't know that we have much to do in the library today. Commissary takes a gem, but it lets us spend money on things. So let's do the commissary. Because at the very least, we'll see what is available for purchase today. Oh, look, we could purchase a shovel today. So if we had done the root cellar, that would be great, but we didn't. Compass is good. Shovel's good. Sledgehammer's good. Salt shaker I can't afford and not as interested in. Oh, it's... No, this is 2 days only. Oh, that's day 20 and 21, but it's... Right, that sign's always there. It's not applicable to us. Okay. All right, well, let's get some gems. If you replace the word "one" in the other two statements with both, they will both be false. Okay, that's either true or false. One of the other statements is false. So if you replace this with both of the other statements is false, and false and false, this could still be true or false. One of the other boxes contains gems. So this is either true or false. One of the other boxes contains gems. This cannot be both of the other boxes contains gems. Like, it can't be true that both of the other boxes contains gems. So if this is changed to both, then this would be false. If this is both of the other statements is false, if this was true, then this would have to be false. And for this to be false, it would mean that one of them was true. Word one, and the other two statements with both, they will both be false. Both of the if this is both, then this is false. If this is both, this could be true or false, but if this was false, then both of these would have to be true. Both here can't be true at the same time that both here is true. No, wait a minute. If both here is true, this is saying both the other statements is false. Both here would be false. So that would be if we replace one with both in both of these boxes, okay, then this would be false. And if this is true, then this would have to be false. Which means that both of the other boxes are true. So that can't be the case. So this would have to be false. Both of the other statements is false, meaning one is true and one is false. So if this was both, oh yeah, one of the other statements is false. I have to back up. This has probably been the hardest one yet. Okay. This would be false, lending this towards true. Both of the other statements is false. Could be true or false depending upon whether or not this box contains gems. Okay, let's assume for the moment that this is true. Let's just do the world where this is true. If this is true, both of the boxes contains gems is a false statement. That checks out. Both of the other statements is false is a contradiction. I mean, it can't be true, so it would be false. Both of the other statements is right, false. Would not be the case, so it would not be true, so it would be false. So false, false, true, that works. If this is true, it can be the case that this is false and this is false. And then you'd have true, false, false. Okay. If this is false, if you replace the word one in the other two statements with both, they will both be false. If this is false, then one of these would have to be true. Well, this one can't be true, so this one would have to be true in that case. Both of the other statements is false. Let's go back to if this is true. If this is true, where are the gems? If this is true, where are the gems? If you replace the word one in the other two statements of both, they will both be false, and this is true. both of the other boxes contain gems is a false statement. That could mean that the gems are in any of the three boxes. If the gems are in one of the three boxes, then both of the other boxes contains gems being false holds up. Both of the other statements is false being false means that one of the other statements is true, that being the true one, this being the false one. That doesn't tell us where that situation will not narrow down where the gems are. Because in that situation, the gems can be in any three boxes. Let's look at this. Can't be whether this is read both of the other boxes contain gems or one of the other boxes contains gems. If it's both of the other boxes contains gems, that would have to be a false statement. One of the other boxes contains gems can be true or false. If one of the other boxes contains gems is false, then the gems are here. So if the gems are here, making this a false statement, one of the other statements is false, would be true. And then this one, if you replace the word one and the other two statements with both, they will both be false. So if this was true, one of the other statements is false, both of the other statements is false. If the gems are here, so this is false. One of those statements is false. This would be true. If this is false, this is true. And if this is true, one of the other statements is false, does not preclude that two of the other statements are false. I don't think it's one that meant to be one exclusively. Okay. So if the gems are here, this is false. If the gems are here, you know what? None of this matters. I'm making this harder than it needs to be. The reason why none of this matters and I'm making it harder than it needs to be is for this reason. The gems can only be in one box. And so the statements have to lead me to where the gems are. If the gems are in the blue box or the black box, that has no effect on the validity of this statement. Like one of the other boxes contains gems would be true either way. There'd be no way to pick between the blue and the black box in that case, right? If the gems are in either the blue box or the black box, then this is a true statement, but there's no, from this statement being true, there's no way to determine whether it is the blue box or the black box that contains the gems. If this statement is false, then the gems are in the white box only. So there's only one interpretation of all three boxes where the gems are in one particular box. And that's as if this statement is false. And ergo, that's the only world in which is solvable, so the gems have to be here. I was making that way harder than it needed to be, and I apologize for putting you through all of that. Like this statement and this statement, there's some logical, like I could work it out. I could work out which is true or false, or has to be, or contradictory or whatever. But it doesn't matter. The gems had to be in the white box because there was only one world in which the gems are definitively in only one box versus a choice of two boxes. Duh. Drawing room, we've already opened that safe. We've solved the puzzle. We don't really need to spend the gem on that. Let's get our money on the pantry and eat our fruit. Then gives us a gem in a doorway. We like that. Let's do that. Not seeing a trunk or anything. We have a sledgehammer. When we have a sledgehammer, trunks seem to be less common than when we don't have a sledgehammer. Trunks are more common, it seems. Same with dig spots. If we have a shovel, dig spots not as common. If we don't have a shovel, dig spots all over the place. Let's go this way first. The patio. This would dead end us, but it spreads gems in each green room, but we don't have green rooms at the moment. We could dead end in the storeroom. Let's do that. Let's dead end in the storeroom, get some stuff. I realized there would be dig spots in the patio, but again, probably like pebbles, tin can. Not until we get a metal detector. Like if we can get a metal detector in the workshop and combine the two, then yeah, dig spots become a lot more valuable to me. Let's get the key and 2 doorways. Thank you, please. We appreciate it. Let's do this doorway. This would give us, dead ends us, but gives us 3 keys. You know what? That's worth it. Honestly, that's worth it. That is worth it. Like, I don't have the car key, so I can't open that at the moment. But trading 1 gem for 3 keys at this point in time is worth it to me. Let's make sure there's no other items that I'm leaving behind. I don't think so. I was disappointed when we first got car keys and I came out here and I was like, oh, I'm going to put gas in the car and I'm going to, and we could get the garage door open. There are times when we could get the garage door open and we had the car keys and I'm like, well, I want to go drive the car somewhere, right? And that doesn't seem to be an option. So now we've got doorways here, here, and here, and that's fine. I mean, that's enough doorways at this stage. Do I use a key? Yeah, I guess I do. Laboratory, it doesn't get us over here, takes us away. Chapel will take a coin, but it does get us here and here. I do like my lab experiments, though. But for the sake of accessibility, well, also the lab might get me around to the foundation. Chapel's not really letting me get there. Ooh. Do I need this area? I'm doing the lab. I was going to kick myself either way, whether I did the chapel or the lab. I could kick myself either way. But I think the lab experiments are fun. And and from here I can remote into the security office and change keycard, settings before security doors start showing up. Each time I eat an apple, when you draft a red room, immediately we could get a kitchen, potentially buy apples, maybe, if they're for sale. But also, we might run across apples. More than one. Yeah, let's presume that we're going to eat at least one apple today. Because immediately is like once guaranteed, but only once. Whereas this is, potentially triggers more than once. I don't know what spreading dirt on the driveway would do, but we do have a shovel. What does spreading dirt on the driveway do? I don't know, but we do have a shovel. So we could find out. I mean, we know permanently adding 1 gold to our allowance is a good thing. Gaining a key, gem, or die, even randomly, all of that's good. Spreading dirt on the driveway, I'm going to do it. The only reason why I'm doing it, it's probably a bad choice, is because I really don't know what spreading dirt in the driveway does, but I do have a shovel today, so I might be able to find out what that does. Like what the benefit is. Then we're going to go into the security terminal. And security. And okay, there's 10 coins somewhere that I have yet to pick up. Good to know. Okay, so 10 coins somewhere that I have missed. Okay. Okay, so where are these 10 coins that I have missed? Where would they be? Oh, did I draft the storeroom and never walk into it? I did, didn't I? I went in there and I picked up everything, didn't I? It'd be stupid if I didn't. Well, the security terminal did not say there's 10 coins, a gem, and a key. It said there's just 10 coins somewhere. But did I walk in, pick up the key and the gem, and not pick up the 10 coins? That seems like I didn't. No, because I had 2 coins. Here's the math. I spent stuff here. I had 2 coins. Came here, got 4. That would bring me to 6. Came here, got 10. Now I'm at 16. So I picked up all of that. So the other 10 coins is maybe dig spots in the foundation. No, that's too many coins for dig spots in the foundation. Somewhere I missed picking up coins. Huh. Is there a trunk in the entrance hall, or just a trunk in some room that I missed? Was there a trunk in the den that I missed? Maybe. Maybe there's a trunk in the den that I missed. I thought I looked for a trunk in the den, but regardless, we're going to move on for the moment. I'll probably backtrack at some point and encounter. Okay, we are not going to use a key here. I have 5 keys. I'm not going to use a key here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack over to here. I would probably have to backtrack over there anyway, so I'll just do it now, making sure there is no coins here. Looking for 10 coins that I have missed. Maybe they're in the boot. They could be in the boot of the car. That's where they could be. Make sure there's no trunk here. I thought I looked. No, I don't see a trunk. I don't see a pile of coins. Me. Yeah, no, I picked up those coins. I'm not going to walk in there. There's not a pile of coins just sitting somewhere over here that I missed. Nope, nope, nope. They're probably like in the boot of the car. I probably would have to find car keys. That's probably what it is. There's not like a trunk in the entrance hall that I missed. No. And the reason why I didn't spend a key here right now is because I intend to connect up to the foundation over here. And if I do so, then I can get to this room from the foundation, potentially without burning a key. And because this is a higher tier than the foundation, so whereas this doorway might require a key, this doorway might not. I mean, who knows? But the point is I was going to have to come over here anyway, and I was going to try to connect up to the foundation from over here anyway. So that's the thinking. To that end, let's try going here. Corridor takes me straight up. That's fine. We like that. And we're going to hope for another straight up because I have the compass. So north facing doorways should be more common today. Passageway, 2 gems. That's a steep price. 2 gems. Chapel is not 2 gems. It's just a coin each way. That is a price I'm more willing to pay. Yeah, we'll do a chapel. Our drafting strategy guide told us that if we get there's probably like a safe in this room, like there's probably something here, and and we've got puzzle keys. So our drafting guide told us what tools that if I can get something that lights fire, I could come here and because this has gems here and here, I could light these candles and something would happen. So that's probably something I need to do, and I need to write a note to that effect. That let me write it here. 2 gem candles need a light. So in order to light, I have to like get a workshop and make a couple things, right? I have to find like magnifying glass and something else, and they combine to produce the thing that will light fire. It's a thing to work on, or work, you know, to pay thing to pay attention to and do when the opportunity arises. Okay. So we got foundation. So we've got a shovel, so let's dig. Turnip. Brick. And there's only 2 dig spots down here today. Sometimes there's 3. Today there's only 2. But now let's see where this goes. Dining room's not bad at all. Yeah, we like having a dining room. I don't need to go there right this moment. We'll go check out this door. See, this doorway did not require a key. That's what I was saying. It was going to require a key to come in this doorway, but I came up here and doesn't require a key. We want the pool. We do want the pool. I mean, Reading Nook would give us a key, and that's good. But we know we want a pool, so let's do the pool. Do I walk into the pool yet? No, I think just drafting the pool added the pump room and locker room to today's draft pool. Yeah, I don't need to walk into it to do that. So I'm not going to walk there just yet. We're going to go here. Because I want the doorway down here. Alrighty then. There's the pump room. Yeah, we wanted that pump room. We want it, we got it. Okay. So the reason why we want the pump room is we're going to move. First of all, we want to be able to work on solving this thing. We have to solve something about this. Like, I don't know if maybe we could just find a broken handle and bring it here and install it, maybe. We want the opportunity to work on that. But meanwhile, I'm going to shift the water back from the reservoir, or from the fountain to the reservoir. So let's fill the reservoir. Because having a drain, until we can fully drain the reservoir, having a drained fountain is better for us. In my opinion. Draining the aquarium didn't really do anything, so far as I could tell. Draining the pool gives us access to coins. That's a true statement. That is a good point. Yeah, rather than like drain the fountain, I think I'll just drain the pool. I don't know what draining the green... I don't think draining the greenhouse necessarily does anything for us. Draining... I don't know what it does. The kitchen wants water so that we can refill watering cans and stuff like that. Draining the kitchen doesn't do anything for us. I drained the aquarium and I went and I was like, oh, okay, the displays are empty of water, but that didn't help us access anything. So, but the pool, we can get coins if the pool is drained. Okay, so let's drain the pool. So if we're going to go over here, and that is 6. And 6 is just pump 4 into tank 1. Oh, sorry. The other way. And then we do a reservoir. We do okay. So that'll do that, and then we just move on. 2 items. I do want 2 items. I can get to here from the entrance hall. So taking 2 items is good. And that puts money in the dead end rooms, put money in the tomb for us. So let's do that. Key and a reroll die. That's good. And then we'll come back. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do this corner before we get too far. I was hoping for a broken handle, but I didn't get one. No, we don't want to do that. We want to go foundation, back to... We go through the chapel multiple times. We're going to lose a couple coins, but I'm fine with that. Alrighty. We'll do bedroom. I like the idea of extra feet tomorrow from the sauna, but I just don't want to dead end immediately. That's a bit of space here that would be wasted. This would give us a key. This gives us 10 feet and an allowance quest, but I'm not really aiming for the antechamber today. Do I want to spend a gem on the security office? I do not. Do I want to re-roll my floor plans? I think I'm just going to take the 10 extra feet because I'm at 36 feet and I need to do some backtracking. So, and then there'll be 2 rooms in the corner that I didn't fill out, but I didn't want to use the reroll die. Oh, look, we get a gem. So that's good. 10 extra feet, we get a gem. And we have an allowance quest if we accidentally end up in the antechamber today. Really not trying for the antechamber today, but it's worth 2 coin allowance to us. So if the opportunity arises, I'll go there. But now what I can do is I can go straight up to the pool, or I could go back to the dining room. But either way, I'm going straight up to the foundation. Yeah, we're gonna lose a coin. That's fine. From foundation, I could go down and I could retrieve coins from the underground. But until I have a reason to need those coins, I won't do the detour of steps. From dining room, I can get to here. From pool, I can get to here. We'll do dining room and go here first. Reading Nook gives us a key. Lets us get the library. We don't really have a need for the library at the moment. Sauna would be a dead end, which would give us 20 extra feet on day 38, plus it would be because it's a dead end, it would add coins to the tomb. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do Reading Nook because it gives me a key and it gives me a doorway over here. Because right now I've got 1 doorway and I don't like having just 1 doorway. So let's get a second doorway. So, otherwise we just kind of get, we draft ourselves into a proverbial corner where we have no more options. So let's take the key. We don't need a library for a library's sake. There's not a book that we're trying to request or a book we're trying to read at the moment. If we did the code check, we could get a key card, but it would dead end us. I don't necessarily want to dead end us. Billiard room lets us get a special key or 2 like regular keys or something and heads us up this way. So I'm going to do the billiard room. I'm leaving blank spot, blank spot, blank spot, blank spot. It is what it is. I enjoy the math puzzle. 18. 1 plus 2 is 3. Squared is 9. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 squared is 36. Minus 20 is 16. 1 squared is 1. Times 18 is 18. Divided by 9 is 2. And we get 2 regular keys. So we're decent on keys at the moment. We're decent on keys. We've only got 3 gems, but we're decent on keys. We've got 39 steps. Not the worst. Not the best, but not the worst. Here's a key. Okay. Gymnasium gives us 2 doorways. It costs us 2 steps to enter. There's going to be dig spots in the greenhouse, but this would dead end this doorway. I like the kitchen because I might want to buy, or might want to see if I can buy apples, right? So let's see if we can buy apples. See if apples are on the menu today. No, it's bananas. Okay. I will go ahead and buy the club sandwich. But that's the only food I'm going to buy at the moment. I was really hoping it was going to let me buy apples. I wanted to eat some apples. We are using a lot of keys. Courtyard is always unlocked. It gives me a doorway up. I've only got 2 gems. It would cost 1 of my gems, but I could dig. It cost me 1 of my gems though. Problem is workshop gives me a doorway, but it's a doorway to the same room that the pool goes to, so that's effectively only 1 doorway. It's 1 accessible room to draft. Courtyard gives me 2 rooms I can draft. Archives also gives me 2 rooms, but this is not an option really. I mean, this is other than the fact that the only upside of the archives is it doesn't cost a gem, and it gives me this same doorway pattern that the courtyard will give me. Do I want to redraw here? That's the question. I'm going to take the courtyard and hope for a trunk. I want my gem back. Oh, there is a trunk. Maybe there will be a gem in that trunk. Ooh, there's a bunch of gems. That was the right choice. That was the right choice. I debated it for quite a while, but that was the right choice. We came out pretty good on that. I don't even need these dig spots to give me anything. But I get a key. Perfect. That was awesome. All right, so let's explore this. I don't really need the library, but it does head over here. Ballroom costs 2 gems, goes straight up. Observatory costs a gem, goes over here. But the advantage to the observatory is we will get some sort of bonus benefits for the day. So we're going to do the observatory. And just hope it's not, the whole Draxus the Dread thing. So we'll go up and eliminate the upstairs. Yep, nothing up here. We're at 30 stars. Let's see what we get. Oh, sale, key, apple. Well, we like apple. No, we don't get an apple. Apples are extra delicious today, but it doesn't give us an apple. Okay. Continue on, please. Okay. So, sales is good if we get a showroom, particularly. Like, well, I've only got 5 coins at the moment, but if we could, I can go get more coins out of the underground or out of the tomb if I need to. Let's go over here. Clock tower. Well, the clock tower right now, it would give me 1 key tomorrow because it only got 1 clock room, or because it would be my only clock room. It would be a dead end. I'm not really considering the planetarium. There's gotta be a shoot. There's gotta be a sanctum key in the clock. I just don't know how to access it. Now, all the hands are like 130, 130, 130, and we have not been there at 130. It's probably past 130 at this point, so we've probably missed it yet again, but maybe we need a clock tower and be there at 130. That's a real possibility. I don't think I have any way of knowing what the in-game time is at the moment. If I do the clock tower, then I'm back to 1 effective doorway. It's like clock tower or redraw. I mean, I don't really want to do the dark room. I will do clock tower. Let's see what time it is. I think I'm past 1:30. So this is, yeah, I'm past 1:30 because this is going this way, so it's like it's going on 5:30 is what it's going on. I'm like 4 hours late, if that's what I needed to do. Oh, here's a gem. Okay. Southward I see a swan, ashen like sands of the shore, carried by westerly winds, robed like the moon of the north. Eastward I see a crow, dark are the days coming forth. And then this is fragment of some other realm, because it's like, oh, it's got the flower, which is the poetry, and then it's got these dashes, which is a different color. This is part of some realm's rune. I just don't know which one. And then you got the swan. Look. I'm probably not going to be able to do anything Sanctum key wise. I probably need to solve some puzzle before I get the clock tower to like know what to do here. Oh well. At the very least, I got a gem, and I will start tomorrow with a key. With at least one key. That's basically what I got out of this. But I did dead end myself in this direction. But it was either that or use reroll die, so. Now we're going to come, not to the kitchen. We're going to come over here. Because there's no other doorway, so this doorway or this doorway leads to this room, so I'm just going to come from this direction. Unless it's locked. But it is not. So. Boudoir, we already did that safe. We might get another gem, might be just sitting in that safe. Aquarium counts as all room types, so it's going to give a dig spot, but that dig spot's not necessarily useful. Sauna would end our day because it would dead end us. We would start the next day with 20 steps and 2 keys because it's another, clock symbol room, but we wouldn't have anywhere else that we could explore today, so I don't want to do the sauna. Boudoir lets me get up here without spending a gem. Aquarium lets me get up here spending a gem. But I think I'll do the aquarium. Because then I can get from here to the pool, pick up coins, and get back to the foundation where I can get more coins, come back. So if I can get some sort of showroom or something, that'd be nice. So we'll do the aquarium. And I'm hoping to just get my gem back. Ooh, broken handle. We want to try that. Broken lever. We want to try that in the pump room. I don't know that I can do anything with a broken lever. I doubt it just slots right in, but I'll want to give it a shot. Where's the pump room? So, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we'll try that. I've got the steps for it. Alrighty. So, foundation. We're going foundation to dining room. Okay. Then from dining room, pump room. I was hoping that would let me slot in the broken handle, but that was too much to ask for, right? Maybe I can combine the broken handle with something in the workshop that could then be slotted here or something. I just don't know. Or do I need to power? Do I need to? I guess I need to power. Oh, I need power. I need to send power here. I need the boiler, and I need to send power to this pump room. Okay. But I don't think the dining room is going to give me the ability to transmit power. Darn. Okay. So back to the foundation. We're gonna go like straight up and see what this room is. I really want a showroom because I can go get coins and I have sale, so I want a showroom. Tunnel would let me do another tunnel, but I don't necessarily need to do another tunnel. Boudoir, dead end. Servants' quarters, dead end. I want to get over here. I want to get here and here. That's a little greedy, but it's what I want. So I'm going to redraw. Drawing room. Gives me the doorways I want. It costs a gem. We'll do that. I now have a lot of keys, so I could use a great hall. But, okay, yeah, so the safe is open and we get a gem out of it. Nice. Anytime we come across an already open safe, I guess we get a gem out of it, which makes, you know, getting gems easier. King and his throne. Is this? But if there is a sanctum key in this room, I would expect it to have already been revealed. Because I did all the things. I opened the safe, and what else is there to do in this room besides open a safe? This candelabra doesn't manipulate it all. About, does this candelabra manipulate it all? No. And this one? No. I just don't think there's a sanctum key here. Okay. But we get free redraws from the drawing room, so this is nice. Do want to go this way first. Yeah. But once we go this way, we will trigger dinner, which is in the dining room, which is down here, so we could get more steps if we need. But let's go this way first. Not good, not good, not good. Let's do our free redraw. With the to the closet, we could open the garage. True. But I don't know that that helps us a whole lot at the moment. I don't want to spend my last reroll die. This costs a gem, but it does let me proceed. Gives me more keys, but it would dead end me and cost a gem, so no. Dead ends me, no. We've already done our key card manipulation thing. I can check, I'm going to check house inventory, see what our house inventory is like. 25 coins. So there's 25 coins to be picked up somewhere, probably in the tomb. Is probably where that is. And some of those might be in the boot of the, or the trunk of the car. Let's go this way. Again, I don't have 5 gems to do the trophy room. If I ever had 5 gems at a time, I could get 3 more by going to the trophy room. Library. Okay, dark room would let me access here and here, but I won't be able to see the floor plans. And yet I'm still tempted to do the dark room. Because even though I can't see the floor plans, it is a room here and a room here. The library is like a room here, but I could get up here from here and here So getting down here seems like a job for the dark room if I don't want to spend a reroll, which I do not. So I'll do the dark room. You know, turn out the lights on me. Yep. That's fine. And then that's an access card door, so unfortunately it did not. I did it so that I could go down here, and I can't do that because it's an access card door. So now I'm going to go up here and use a key and not know what I'm drafting. That sucks. This requires a gem. This does not. Requires 2 gems, requires a gem, does not require a gem. We'll do the one that does not require a gem since we don't know what we're drafting. Oh, it's the furnace. Greater chance of red rooms. Well, now I want a freezer. I'm not going to get a freezer, but I'm going to want a freezer. Well, that sucked all around. That's what that did. That sucked all around. And now when I go here, red rooms. Ugh. I get a free redraw here from the drawing room. So I'm going to use this redraw here. Great Hall would let me open the antechamber, but it would only let me open the antechamber. I've got enough keys to do it, but it would only let me open the antechamber on this side, and I have no guarantee that I can get from this doorway over to this side. But it still also has other gems, other keys potentially, so we'll do the Great Hall. It's better than the other options, I think. So then from here, let's do use a key. Get a bunch of gems. Nice. We need gems. Use a key. Nothing. Use a key. Coins. And the lever. We'll go ahead and pull the lever. It may be pointless, but we'll do it. And then key. Walk-in closet is... We're not going through this doorway because we don't have a secret garden, so I don't care about blocking that off. I don't need to get through this corner. So we'll spend the gem to get the walk-in closet with the 4 items. That's what we'll do. Gives us a key, gives us gems. We're gonna have too many gems. Problem is, if I get a freezer at this point, it's going to be too far away from the furnace, because unless I can get an access card and put a freezer right here, or I put a freezer right here, which blocks me off from going this way. There's no way I can put a freezer in this corner anymore. And basically, I think the freezer has to be on the same wing of the house as the furnace for it to count, which means basically through here, but I would need an access card. But this walk-in closet did not give me an access card. What did it give me? It gave me a key, some coins, and give me a gem. It's supposed to be 4 items, so is there some item I'm missing here? I don't think so. Did I pick up everything? I didn't get any of those items, so it basically was it just gems and key and coins that I got from here? I wasn't paying attention. I should have been paying attention. Swan. Swan is House Epson. And I'm not like, there was a time when there was running shoes right here and I was just ignoring them because I just always ignore running shoes. But regardless, okay. So, what can I get from these other doorways? Well, I can get this doorway from here, so I don't want to do that doorway there. Is there realistically anything else I need? I mean, there could be more coins. There could be more. There could be like spend the key and get 2 keys in return kind of thing. But I don't think there's anything I really need. I've got 6 gems. That's good. So we're just going to ignore these 3, 1, 2, 3 unopened doorways. One of those 3, one of these 2 leads here, and I don't want to go here from here. I want to go here from here, because I have the reroll from here. So then that leaves that doorway. Probably leads to just a boarded up whatever, right? So this doorway's out. Yeah. Because that's the thing. This doorway basically has to be the doorway that would go over here, but it's blocked off. So that's pointless. So the only question is, one of these 2 doorways would have some sort of reward behind it, and the other one's going to go to a room I don't want to go to. So we're going to skip it. But let's check this. This will tell me what I'm passing up. The reason why this tells me what I'm passing up, because, okay, so there's not more keys in the, there's no more keys in, or gems in the Great Hall, right? 0, 0. There's potentially coins and more coins in the Great Hall, but not more keys. So we're going to skip it for the moment. Okay. So we're going to do drawing room. Come over here. And because we've opened this and we've got the allowance quest, I guess we should try to go here now because we haven't seen showroom, we haven't seen gallery. This was like our last opportunity for, we're going to redraw. For freezer. Ooh, this is not good choices. Yeah, the furnace really burned us, like figuratively and literally, because it's throwing these red rooms into everything. I don't have a reroll die. I don't want a sauna here, so we're going to do the archives just because it gives us a doorway over here. But it will suck because I don't have a reroll. There's no key or gem over here. Sometimes there is, not today. Okay, cloister. We don't know what this is. It doesn't cost any gems, but we're going to spend 3 gems on the cloister because it gives us 2 doorways, and they lead in directions we want. Oh, and this is still wavy. So maybe if we got a freezer here, or maybe it would still be close enough to the furnace because these are still wavy, even though they're on the east wing. Just because the furnace is up here, we'll see. Be nice to get a freezer. I still do not know the way into the cloister center. Access card door, we don't want that. Oh, okay. So access card door over here, an access card door over here, and we do not have an access card. Ooh, I just spent, if I hadn't spent the gems. If I had not spent the gems on the, well, I had 6 gems just a moment ago, So we're going to do the gymnasium. It's going to cost us a couple feet, but it gets us into the antechamber, increases our allowance, and gives us a doorway over here. And we don't know what this does. I mean, it costs 2 gems, so it's probably nice, but we don't know what it is. It could lead somewhere else or be a dead end or something. So, devil we know versus, the devil we don't. This is an access card door, so we are done. Because access card door, access card door, access card door. And we don't have an access card. Multiple times today, we have been given the option of a code check room to get our access card. And I just haven't wanted the dead end at any of those times. So the game is punishing us for that. We've also had the option a couple times of the utility closet, which would let us turn off power to the access card system, key card system. But again, I didn't want a dead end at those times. So there are coins down in the we're gonna go here. Increase our allowance yet again. And what I could do is I could go down and flip the switch and open room 46, but I don't think I have a reason to spend my steps that way. I might not have anything better to do with my steps, to be honest. But the only thing is I don't think it's going to give us another sanctum key. I think we got the only sanctum key that it's going to give us. I think if we go back into room 46, it's not going to give us a replacement sanctum key, I'm pretty sure. But we could test that theory. We could just verify that that's the case. Because honestly, what else are we going to do with our steps? I mean, what else are we going to do? We have a sledgehammer. We only saw 1 trunk. Is it access card doors and access card door, access card door, access card door. So we don't have an access card and we don't have a way to turn off the power. So we're done building out rooms. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to do. I mean, going in the Great Hall, we might get more coins for our keys, but that's not really useful. Alrighty. Let's do things. Yeah, I don't have a workshop. I have a broken lever. I have these things, but I don't know how to turn these things into. I can't use them to get the pump room auxiliary tank online to pump out the reservoir. I think that requires. That looks like it obviously is going to require power from the boiler to. We need the boiler to the pump room in order to do something like that. Is what that looks like. Shame, shame, shame. If I had done the sauna at some point, we would start the next day with 20 extra steps. But again, I didn't want a dead end. It's fine. I'll take the allowance over the 20 extra steps. I think 20 steps are probably worth more than 2 coins, to be honest. But it's 2 coins every subsequent day. Day after day after day, versus 20 steps one following day, and that's why I think the allowance is slightly better than the extra steps, or the increased allowance is better than the extra steps, because it's a always recurring benefit. So we're going to go this way. Essentially, well, we're going to go 1, 2, get some more steps because we might as well. Then like 3, 4, 5, 6, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the same either way. So we'll just go the long way. And then in the foundation, we'll go like reveal room 46, come back, right? Go, and then verify that we don't get another sanctum key. Just making do with the day that we have, or with the rooms that we have. I could go eat at the dining room. That's another thing I can do. Alrighty, let's see. It's plenty of steps. Yeah, because if I come through this way, I can eat at the dining room on my way and get even more steps. Eat the meal. Yeah, now we've got shit tons of steps. We got 2 keys, 3 gems, 12 coin, 54 steps. And basically what we're going to do is just go down here. Open up room 46, come back and see, what the deal is in room 46. Figure out there's nothing new to do. That kind of thing. Oh, there was something else I wanted to try, and I'll have plenty of steps for it. I want to go to Blackbridge and try some more admin codes, because I had a thought that I'll share when we get there. So the reservoir is back to being like full up. So then let's do. And so we're just gonna come over here. Like, the one that there's a supposedly a sanctum key at a station. This looks like a railway. This looks like rail, right? This looks like an underground, subway, like kind of thing. Which leads me to wonder, like, is any part of this considered a station, or right? An old subway station, potentially, but we don't know. So we're going to open that door. Oh, and the other thing we can do while we're here, because we're in the inner sanctum, is we can go back to... We'll go back here and just see if there's anything new we're allowed to solve. Any new benefit we get for the day. Tells us about the puzzle box, but we already did the puzzle box, so it's not going to let us do it again. That's what I was basically questioning. Yeah, so we could only do the puzzle box the one time. But there's probably a similar, like, reward in each of the independent rooms, or sanctum rooms. Okay, so having done this, now we can... For the sake of step efficiency, if it matters, it probably doesn't because we've got so many steps and so little left to do today. But for the sake of step efficiency, I'm going to go outside before I go back upstairs. In other words, I'm going to go ahead and go to Blackbridge and try out my admin code, my new admin code ideas. Oh, I walked right by Blackbridge. Forgot what I was doing. Okay, so here's the deal. I've been mulling over. Let me see if I can. Show you this. Okay, so the game is still running, but I wanted to show you this. So basically, maybe a better way to do this. I'm gonna. Okay. Basically, what the deal is when I was considering a new clue again, there is this part that says there's a suspect list, right? And I'm going somewhere with this, so just follow me. There's a suspect list, so it's names and ages, right? Names and ages. First and last names with ages. So all of those names, so far all of our like Blackbridge admin keys have been like first four letters of last name followed by first letter of first name, right? Well, so in theory, we could just try all of these just to see what happens. Like, do any of these names turn into an admin key? Because we know there's at least one more admin key that out there, right? Maybe with false info, but that false info might still be useful to us. But it's just something it's another puzzle to solve. What is that remaining admin key or remaining admin keys, right? So we could just try all of these just because they're on a list of names, and we've tried every other name that we've come across. We've tried all the names we've come across. So we could just try all these names. But so that was the initial thought I had, is just let's try all these names, right? And we could do that. But we could narrow this down potentially further, because we have also somewhere. Oh, yes. I think I have a magnifying glass version of it. Yes. The suspect is minor, and that's blue versus the red stuff, which is red is false and blue is true. So the suspect, so we go back to the list is of suspects, is minor. So I've talked about this before. Minor could mean minor as in underage, right? Under the age of 18. So we could just start first. If it doesn't work, we'll try the others. But we could start first with the individuals off the suspect list whose age is under 18, right? Let's try them first. But also, another thing that made me think, see where it says the suspect is a dot key? Well, if A is A could mean admin. I was thinking for a long time, it's just the suspect is like A is a name, like a key, but then I was like, that doesn't necessarily work. And then I was like, if you remove the dot, it's just the suspect is a key. But if A dot means admin, so the suspect is admin key, because notice, see how it's giving these computer terminals, pick the picture of the computer terminals, like when we do the remote login, that's what it looks like, is you're here and you're remote logging in these access terminals. So that makes me think the suspect might be an admin key, and it might be one of the minor suspects. So I'm going to potentially try all of the suspects from this list, but I'm going to try the underage ones first. So that's where I'm going with this. That's the thought. Okay. So I'm just sharing that. And there we go. Okay. So then, let's see. Yep. Go here. Yeah, because it says admin key, so a key. That's making me feel pretty good about this as something to try. So let me get back on my other monitor. I'm going to go back to that screenshot because I didn't write the names down since I have a screenshot. So I'm just going to refer to the screenshot as I try these. Give me a moment. Okay, so starting with the underage ones, we've got Richard Scott. So Scott, because it's 4, and then this is the pattern. Okay, fine. Because Richard Scott's 12. And then we've got Sandra Dillon is 14. Okay. And then we've got Bo Lee is 16. Now, Lee's last name is only 3 letters, but it's the only 3 letters we have, so we're going to try it. And then if this doesn't work, we can actually just try his full name, Lee Bo, but we'll try Lieb. Oh, that worked. Okay. Blackbridge. I'll try the others, but this is probably the only one that's going to work. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So then, what can we do anything here? Does this get us anything new or different? Okay, so three new admin keys have been added to the network's user database. Lee B, Prov, C, and how new? We'll try those others. Admin view access restricted to the following admin keys. Lee B, Prov C, and how new. Okay. Lee, we are planning something later this year and need to make sure communication on here is not being archived. Are there additional steps we can take to ensure privacy? Lee B, already taken care of. We are now bypassing message archiving. Randolph, shouldn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Okay. Good. No one else in the state knows we're here, other than Mary, of course, who saw Lee on Tuesday, but Hound, you has a plan to take care of her. Huh. Now we read other logs that said that there were going to be fake entries, right? And that was being said by prophecy. So some of this might be real, some of this might be fake. I'm not sure which at the moment, but we're going to take it a bit of a grain of salt. If it must be done, it must be done. Just see to it that the body is not discovered. The last thing we need is for the Red Guard to be snooping around here. So this is sounding nefarious, right? But we know Bo Lee is supposed to be 14, 16, is minor or something. She won't be found, rest assured. Let's disperse for now. I'll meet you all at the safe house in Reddington in 4 days. Then once the inquiry is over, we will proceed with our plans for the museum. So that's sounding like the museum heist, right? But it's also sounding like they're getting rid of Mary in the process. Resuming operations. Welcome back, Lee. I've been camping out of the old schoolhouse for the past month waiting for your return. It's spacious, quiet, and should prove to be an effective base of operations outside the purview of the staff and the Baron. We should have an opening on the first day of September. Can we be ready by then? I don't see why not. Negotiations for transportation are in the final stages. If all goes well, we will have air passage to Nuance secured for that date. I think Moore is planning a scheduled maintenance soon, so we should likely wrap things up here. I'd say it's time to scrub these logs. They might fall under some scrutiny in the near future. Prob C and Hound U and Lee B delisted and deleted from user database. Temporary access to the mainframe and Blackbridge Grotto has been restored to perform routine maintenance. Temporary access to the mainframe and Blackbridge Grotto has been restored to perform maintenance. Okay, that's a double entry. Like, I guess two different years, like 89 versus 90, but it's the same message. Yeah, with nothing in between. Okay. Updated access for the following account types: full access, personal access, archive access. RTA is down while we work. RTA is working again. We've read a lot of this before. Per request, one temporary admin key deactivate, and then a new admin key has been added. In management features, the Blackbridge. Okay, update user database, changing of the guard in preparation for Simon's arrival. Blah 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 blah. Okay, we're gonna return the menu. Go to data files. Nope. Okay. So cool. That gave us info. That gave us story beats that probably aren't true, because I think Mary's alive and smuggled out. So I think this is maybe false tracks being left behind, but potentially. But let's see if those other admin keys, Prob C and Hound U, actually do anything. So now we're going to try okay, Prob C is not one, and Hound U, these were all Windows admin log messages. That's not one. So it was just Lee B, and I think that was probably the last one we were looking for, because we know there was a false trail. What was that? Yeah, I think Rib J is one of the real ones, and when we read that, it goes yeah, because Jean Ribbon is really just Mary. Okay, so RibJ, Randolph, instead of simply deleting these logs, would it be possible instead replace them with manufactured messages? I'd like to leave a trail of breadcrumbs to lure would-be clue seekers down the proverbial garden path. So I think that's what the other admin account is about. Yes, we can create a dummy admin account with pseudo privileges. And I think that's the Lee Bo account that we just used. Split in that case, I better get to writing. Our visitor last week has given me a bit of inspiration for a new book. As requested yesterday, new admin key created, though the requested name doesn't quite fit with our typical link formatting, which is true of Bo Lee. So I think that's how we know that the Bo Lee or the Lee B password, which is 4 characters instead of 5 characters, is the fake pseudo admin password, right? So I think that's the false trail. And that's why there isn't really accounts for Prov C or Hound U. So that's all good. Or that all makes sense. That fills in our gaps. That said, I'm still going to attempt the other minor keys in the list. I'm not going to really worry about the majors or the adults, but I'm going to try the others just to make sure that there's only one more. There's Charles Riskel, and there's no reason not to try it. So Risk C, and I don't expect this to work, and it does not. So it was just the Bo Lee one. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. Cool. So I'm going to consider that a solved little puzzle. What is that? Fake Last admin key. We've identified all 3 of the delisted admin keys, right? Jean Ribbon, which is an alias for Mary, and then Philip somebody, which is an alias for Paul, who's like leaving with her or helping her leave and stuff. And then there's Bo Lee, the fake account that they made in order to lead people astray. Cool. So we verified all that. We got plenty of steps. We're going to go back into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could spend a coin and just go straight through the entrance hall and the chapel, or I could go back to the foundation. I'm going to go back to the foundation because that's where I left the elevator, and I want to bring the elevator back up in case I need to go back down. I wouldn't be able to do that because there's no way to recall the elevator. So I'm going to go back in here just so that I can bring the elevator back up with me. Without an access card, we cannot summon the elevator from down here. All right. And we avoided going to the chapel, so we didn't lose a coin. Not that it matters, because I don't have anything to spend money on. Now I'm just going to walk straight up. Okay. I'm looking for the pool. Ah, wrong way. I was disappointed when I emptied the aquarium with the pump room the one time. I didn't see any advantage to it. I've got like plenty of steps. I might try it again just for the hell of it. I don't have a greenhouse, so I don't know what emptying the greenhouse will do, but I might try emptying the aquarium again just to see, just to double check the effect. But then again, I might not, because I'm kind of hungry in the real world. And I don't get to eat until I take a break from this game, or until I finish this day. So we'll see. Yep. Go through the gymnasium, lose some steps. That's fine. I've got plenty of steps. Room 46 is available. Yeah. I don't know I'm going to learn anything new. Yeah, okay, there's no replacement sanctum key. This is our note telling us where to find sanctum keys, but yeah, it's not going to give us a new sanctum key just because we took the one that was here. I don't know. I've got a screenshot of this ransom note, but I don't know what to do about it. We know that we need to collect the postcards from the sanctum in order to solve this. Don't know if this is just art or if this is a puzzle of some kind. It doesn't seem to be clickable at all, so it's not like click these in a sequence, but there could be a safe. There could be a safe in this room, and that is triggered somehow, and I just don't know how, right? In fact, it would be kind of odd that if there was not a safe in this room, but I don't get to do anything with the crown. I have it, but I don't get to do anything with it. I never did get to eat an apple. Well, the whole day I never got to eat an apple. So I still don't know what spreading dirt on the drive does. That's sad. That's a shame. Okay, so like I said, there was nothing really going on more to glean from room 46, but I had the steps, so I'm gonna go. I've got 2 extra keys. Because I have 2 extra keys, I'm going to go to the Great Hall because I don't get to keep the keys. And even though there's no like money or gem, or there's no keys or gems to be had, if there's some item, that's the question, right? So we're going to go to the drawing room, to the security room, to the Great Hall. And it looked like this was a straight through, so that means don't prioritize this door. So we will open this door, just like looking for an item. Nope, that was nothing. I don't need these keys for anything else. Yeah, and that just leads to here, but there's no item or anything. Okay, that's... So I was correct to not waste those keys earlier. Now it doesn't matter. There's no item overlooked in here, I don't think. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna go security drawing room. Trying to get back to the pump room here. So we want to go down to here and then over here. Again, all we're doing is I'm just going to play with the pump controls to try to drain the aquarium and go back and examine the aquarium room again to make sure that I didn't miss something the first time I drained the aquarium, like that there's some benefit to draining the aquarium. All right, so to drain the aquarium, I first have to refill the pool. And then aquarium is 3, which goes to tank 1. And then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, check out the aquarium. Yep. Oh, I meant to go this way. Shoot. So I'll go through here and buy some steps if I can. Okay. That's all the steps I'm going to get, but that's fine. So I've emptied the aquarium, but what's that actually do? Took the water out of here, but of what benefit is that? See, this is what I encountered last time I did this, is it doesn't seem to really have an effect on anything in the aquarium that I can tell, so far as I can tell. It hasn't made, like, you know, something automatically trigger like the revelation of a safe or anything. Okay. No, so I have 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go back to the pump room. I'm going to empty the pool because I do know that there's a benefit to the pool being empty, because then on future days it remains empty when it's drafted and it has coins. So we want to end the day with the pool being emptied, since the aquarium being empty doesn't seem to benefit anything. I mean, I don't know what else to click, people. And it's not like making me see things I didn't see before, right? I mean, there's like this book on this minecart, but I could see that with the water. I can't access it any better. I can't reach in and grab things. Okay. So. All right, so we're gonna undo everything we just did. What we're gonna do. Go back to filling the aquarium so that we can empty the pool. Okay. I think an empty pool is more beneficial than an empty fountain. An empty fountain gets us another way to get into the underground, but we've already got 3 ways into the underground. We can go through the dug tunnel from the hillside. We can go from the foundation, and we can go from the tomb when it's an outbuilding. So we've already got 3 ways into the underground, so I don't think we need the fountain. Whereas money is generally always useful day to day. So we're going to just kind of leave it like that. We got 3 steps, but we're going to just call it a day. I literally can't think of anything else to do. So we're going to call it a day, but that was day 37. Thank you for being with me. I don't know that we necessarily accomplished a whole lot. We verified that we could, the last admin key in Blackbridge. We did increase our allowance by doing another run to the antechamber. That was unintentional. It just kind of fell out that way. We verified that we do not get a replacement sanctum key in room 46, so we don't really need to continue to open up room 46. We don't need to open up room 46 every day. We only need to open up room 46 if we're going to utilize the blue crown, or we're going to, you know, work on puzzles in that room, but that's not every day. We think we need to get boiler room power to the pump room in order to activate the external tank, in order to empty reservoir, because a broken handle alone wasn't, we couldn't just stick into the thing and turn it on. What else did we because we did clock tower, we will get one key. Is that, I think there's only one clock room we did because we never did the sauna. Maybe should have done the sauna, but I didn't. So we'll start tomorrow with a key again, like we did, like we started today. Yeah. What was it I was going to consider a solved puzzle? Was it just the Blackbridge admin key? I feel like there's something else I did, but I could be mistaken. Okay. If I'm forgetting an accomplishment of the day, just let me know. Mount Holly, Red Manor, 6 red rooms. Yeah. Total rooms 36. Rank reached 10. Steps taken 146. Items found 6. Outer room was the tomb. Hopefully we've got coins down in the tomb. I didn't want to pick them up at the end of the day because then they would go away. So hopefully they're just going to stay down there. And I can maybe pick them up the next time we draft tomb. Is the hope. I'm hoping they're just accumulating. Alrighty. Have a good one. Bye.